So, hello and welcome to the next episode of the Self Development with Tactics podcast. And today, as in the last episode, we're going to discuss the what every book or what everybody is saying summary from the deconstructionexcellence.com website that I mentioned just the last episode. And I by now also think, or um, you know, I also think that this is a very, very great website because there's just a lot of information, a lot of summaries of, different kind of books. Um, I think most of them are just like time management, like the 4 hour work week, or something like this in terms of, knowing yourself and knowing others. And I've seen, and I will probably do this also, is a book about emotional intelligence. And, I glimpsed a little bit into it and it seems really, really interesting. And so I think that I'm actually going to discuss it with you. But nevertheless, the last episode we talked about legs and what legs can say. And if you're interested in it, check out the last episode or the last video if you're just watching this on YouTube. And by the way, I'm your host Chris, and I'm a 17-year-old graphic design student from Austria. And I'm really into self-development and, this business things. I just, really live for it at this time of my life. And to not lose any time, today the torso will be the topic. In point 4, the torso tips, non-verbals of the torso, hips, chest and shoulders. Because the torso contains many of the body's vital organs, the limbic system of our brain will seek to protect the area when threatened. The result may be abrupt or subtle, but will communicate values, not values, but volumes. And I think we'll go straight into it. So the first thing is ventral denial and ventral fronting. The front, or called ventral, as I know by now, side of your body is the most sensitive side. So the limbic brain will construct your torso to shift or turn away from a situation, relationship, or topic you don't like, and turn toward those things you find favorable. This principle is particularly helpful in reading the room and observing who is in agreement with whom. In individual interactions, a powerful tool to let someone know you are interested or supportive is to simply face them directly and or lean forward. It's also something I've just heard quite a long time ago. The same thing with the feed, sorry, not like food to eat. But if you're having a job interview or something, it's really good to lean forward when you're sitting, because if you just be like this and lean back and you're just hanging in your seat like this, it will not look good, first of all, and they probably mean that you're uninterested in your conversation with them. So leaning forward is something I've learned should be or seems to be efficient or correct when you are in a job interview and you just really want to tell the other person that you're into this topic or discussion at all, or you're interested. But let's see. The second point is the torso shield. This indicator of discomfort includes behavior such as crossing your arms, buttoning your jacket, reaching across to play with your watch, or putting a notebook, purse, etc. up to your chest. Again, a change in baseline is key here. Many people are simply comfortable crossing their arms. So, I'll read it again. If you haven't heard it, crossing your arms, buttoning your jacket, reaching across to play with your watch, or putting a notebook, purse, etc. up to your chest. Which I think it means like this, like every schoolgirl is, shown in any kind of movie or any kind of series. They're just always like this. Like some books, and they're a little bit shy, and something like this. And yeah, and as the name said, it holds a shield. It just, it is just a shield for you to save you if something dangerous will happen. And I think it's very interesting that most of these things just can be translated into very early stages of the human beings, and are simply just, um, keeping you from dangerous situation, or just I don't know. The positive thing might be interesting. Maybe I can think about it during the next few points. But the third one is the torso bow. More often seen in Eastern cultures, the torso bow is an indicator of respect or deference. The torso bow. Maybe I can find it. Torso bow. Maybe it's like no, not tornado. Torso. Hmm. Hmm. Not what I was looking for. But I think it's just this leaning motion. Isn't it like this? Showing respect in every, Eastern culture or every Eastern country seems to be like this. I'm just not willing to, you know, hurt anybody here. But anyways, let's see what the fourth point is. The torso embellishments. While it can be dangerous to judge a person based on their clothing, the reality is that you will be judged in like manner. The action point here is to be conscious that whatever you wear or you are wearing is to communicate something. That's true. Of course, if you're going to a job interview with just, some joggers or something, or you might seem like you were jogging towards here. Terrible joke, I'm sorry for that. Um, yeah, that's true. Nothing to say about this. The fourth point, preening. An overall lack of personal hygiene or good grooming often indicates sadness, illness, or other negative states of mind, or you just can't think about it anymore. And that's also something why I've shaved, because I was so into this YouTube stuff and Instagram and posting all the time, and my brain was just only about it, um, which isn't good at all. I just, you know, there are some other things in your life, but focusing on something can be good, but do not focus too much on something. Um, and I've seen also that people who are just really focused on something just forget about everything else. So, like, I experienced it, and so they will not groom, or I was showering, yes, but I wasn't really, cutting off my beard and so on. But the sixth point is the torso's place. Leaning back and to the side while sitting is a territorial power display and often indicates a disrespect for authority. Yeah, that's true. The seventh one, the puffing up the chest. This aggressive pose is clear sign of anger. Like this, I guess, like any other animal on this planet will do to look bigger and more brutal and dangerous and so on and so on and so on. The eighth one, burying the torso. The common manifestation of the signal is removal of a hat, jacket, etc., indicating that someone is getting ready for a fight, which in today's world is usually verbal or intellectual in nature. Okay. The ninth one, breathing behavior and torso. When the body is stressed, it tries to take in as much oxygen as possible, resulting in a noticeable expansion and contraction of the chest. So when it's stressed, yeah, that's all these points are just, there's nothing to say about it. It's just, they're just facts. And but I hope there will be some things I can, give my shit with it to you, so that you maybe gain more value out of it through my comments than before. The 10th one, shoulder shrugs. Watch how people combine emotion with a declaration of ignorance. I don't know. Just a full shoulder shrug is consistent with the statement, while a partial shrug may indicate doubt or lack of commitment to the assertion. And also something that may be interesting to you, and what I've heard, and you should take it with a grain of salt because I'm not really sure about it, or there aren't any sources that I can give you. Which is that when people are lying, most of the time they're not doing any non-verbal things, just standing around and telling you the lies. And this was something I was really thinking about while reading the shoulder shrug, because I don't know. It may be also what he points out here is if the shoulder shrug with your verbal expressions or your words in general, just if they aren't synchronized. So if you say, I don't know, something like this, it may be also an indicator of lying. I don't know. It might be. Could be possible for me. But let's see what the 11th one is. The weak shoulder displays. This display of bringing your shoulder closer to your ears results from the limbic system trying to protect the neck as a result of uncomfortable situation. You know, when somebody tickles your neck and you just do it like this, I think you just do it because you think you're in danger. And this might be one of the reasons why you just, is it called tingle? Tingle? I don't know. But you know what I mean. This is what I know. But that's the thing with the torso. And the thing is, just before I was eating, because I came home, and then I was thinking about that I've done really a lot of articles now, but some of them I haven't really finished. And if so, and if there were some you really were enjoying, just write me down in the comment, or there are all the social media platforms I have in the description of the podcast and or the description of the video. And so if you want to just could check them out and write me a DM or comment on every post you see. But yeah, let's see what the 5th point is, which is named knowledge within reach, nonverbals of the arms. The first one, and we will go straight into it. The first one is gravity-related arm movements. When you are energized, happy, or excited, your arms go up. For example, high fives. When you are feeling confident, your arms will often swing by your side. It's only when you experience negative emotions that your arms will drop. That's true. I think so. The second one, the arm withdrawal. When someone is upset or threatened, their arms will often move to the side or cross their chest. You'll sometimes see this when people are arguing. They are protecting their bodies in a non-provocative way. Move to their side. Don't know what he meant by this. Or cross the chest. Like this or like this? I'd say. Just some kind of question and or answer. The third one, restriction of arm movement. This is your body's attempt to make you less detectable or a smaller target in response to a situation that your limbic brain perceives as a threat. It's I have to say it again, but it's very interesting that all these things are just related to your brain just protecting you or your body, which is very interesting because even if there is nothing to what did I say, to protect from, your body does it anyways. That's the interesting part of it. But let's see what the 4th one is, the arm cues that isolate. When someone claps their arms behind their back, they are communicating higher status and desire for distance. Another example of an isolating arm cue is how people in a crowded area position their arms to create space. I always do this behind the back thing with my arms. I haven't thought about it. The arms akimbo. Placing your hands on your hips is a classic example of behavior intended to communicate dominance or authority, so placing your hands on your hips. The author notes that this can be a particularly useful tool for women to communicate that they are standing their ground or insisting that an issue be addressed. So that they are standing their ground or insisting that an issue be addressed. The sixth one, hooding effect. Another territory-claiming display of dominance is putting your hands behind your neck with the elbows out when seated. Like this. The seventh one, the dominant pose. Any general spreading of your arms, planting your fingers on the desk, or spreading your arm out over the chair next to you is an effort to claim territory in order to communicate authority or dominance. So spreading of your arm, planting your fingers on the desk. I don't know if they mean it like, on the front or on the back of the desk. On the back I would know it or understand it, but in the front it's just, I think, not a real indicator of showing your dominance or something. But the eighth one, adornments and artifacts on the arms. Rings, watches, tattoos, and other arm adornments aren't blandly decorative. They are often worn to communicate certain things, even if the wearer doesn't consciously acknowledge it. I would say so, especially tattoos, which is, just common, I think. Yeah, not really common. Some people just get tattoos because they like them, and there's no shame about this. They are great, and it's, to show your personality. But often these designs mean something to the person that are wearing them or having them. But the ninth one, arms as conduits of affection. Hugging, arm touching, and positioning the arms openly are all mannerisms that communicate affection through the arms. Okay. I'm always just okaying everything, which I'm quite sorry about but there's just nothing else to say, which is the pity behind everything, or behind this one. But let's see what the sixth point is, and it is named getting a grip, non-verbal of the hands and fingers. Because the hands are so expressive and delicate, they can reveal very subtle nuances in behavior coming from the limbic system. The first one, effective hand movements. Using hand movements effectively can greatly increase your credibility and persuasiveness. And all the time, teachers in my school were saying that you should, use your hands while you talk, or you talk with your hands. Just like, I'm often doing also on this format. But yeah. The second one, hiding your hands, because this creates such a decidedly negative impression, try to avoid keeping your hands behind your back or under the table. And this is something I've heard from the somewhere, and is just an indicator, something that reminds people on the Wild West, because people always tended in bars, for example, to have their guns under the table. And so to be sure that there are no guns, they just, had their guns on the table, but their hands on the table, to indicate, I do not have anything in my hands. Everything is clear, no danger, no everything. The third one, the power of a handshake. This made the most written about gesture in the Western world. The author cautions against trying to establish dominance by maneuvering your hand to be on top, or by placing your second hand on top. Politicians do these things to avoid looking weaker than the other person, but in most cases it just makes people uncomfortable. I really hadn't thought about this. I was ready for just a paragraph where I say, okay, that's great, nice to know, and then something like this comes up, which is interesting. And I was also thinking if some politicians I know have done this, while talking with, I don't know, Putin, maybe possible, because he's just real dominant, or Trump or something. But the fourth one is offensive hand gestures. Unlike many of the other examples of body language we've discussed, many hand gestures are learned rather than innate reactions. It's INNATE. For this reason, it's probably advisable to avoid all hand gestures when traveling internationally. You never know what any given gesture might mean in a foreign country. And it's also something uh, we have talked about in school, because there are just a ton of things you shouldn't really do. Also the peace sign may mean something really bad in another language. It therefore depends if your hand inside is showing or the hand outside is showing, which is I think it's actually in England like it, but I don't really know. Don't take it for granted. But with the back side it's just victory, and if with the front side it's kind of fuck you or something. I don't know. The fifth one is learn to manage sweaty hands. Sweaty hands happen because of stress or nervousness, not deception. If you notice someone has sweaty hands, consider if there is something you can do to help them calm down. Very nice point, helping somebody. The sixth one, nervousness in the hands. Quivering hands can be due to stress, nervousness, excitement, caffeine, neurological disorders, or focus. Due to the wide range of interpretations, use the context and concentrate more on changes in the behavior than on the occurrence of the behavior itself. Okay. Steepling, touching the spread fingertips of both hands together, is an indicator of great confidence, perhaps in yourself. Spread fingers. Touching both fingers together is an indicator of great. You know what? Who is doing this all the time? Write it down in the comments if you know what I mean. I want to see it. Use this gesture to your advantage and make sure not to hide it under the table or hold your hands too low if you're trying to communicate confidence. The thumb displays. Because people don't often gesture with their thumbs, thumb displays tend to be fairly accurate tells. Thumbs up communicates confidence, while thumbs hidden either in your hands or your pockets indicate the opposite. If you find yourself standing with your thumbs in your pocket, switch to putting your other 4 fingers in your pocket and keeping your thumb out. And actually, you should to be looking in general very confident. You shouldn't do any part of your hands in your pockets. That's something I've also read or seen, or just I don't know where from, but yeah. But that's true because, and I think that's true. So for sure it may be true because it's, I always say, and I always think about it, when you're getting informations from the internet, it could be everyone who has written them, or it could be a ton of bullshit. And because this is a book, I don't think that a lot of it is bullshit, because you have to think about it like this. There was someone who made the script for the book, or had a ghostwriter or something, and he got it printed, so he had someone to print it, and I don't know what it's called, but the distributor of this book, and so on. So there are several steps he has to do with the printed book, to have it in your hands or to be available. And so I think nobody would do this this stress, so nobody would want this stress only because of putting, or because he wants to put shit out in the world. But yeah. The ninth one, genital framing. When someone rests their thumbs on top of or inside their belt loop with fingers hanging down, they are subconsciously communicate dominance or virility. The frozen hands. Similarly to frozen feet, a sudden cessation, it's with a C and E and SSATION, of hand movement indicates stress. The 11th one and the last one for this episode, interlaced hand stroking or rubbing. Similar to neck touching, this is pacifying behavior that also indicates stress. So interlaced hand stroking. Is it like this or this? Stress. Okay, and I think that's it for this episode, and I hope there was just a great ton of value in this for you. I'm very sorry if I haven't spoken really good today. I don't know why. I was quite pumped before this episode to make it, but you know, you will get everything, and so if you're watching this, you at least have the video and or the text itself, in the background. But if there are any questions or anything you want to talk or you want to tell me or whatever, just write down in the comments or text me on every social media platform you would like to, which I have, obviously. But nevertheless, I wish you a very great day or the rest of your day or evening or whatever, and I'll actually see you the next time. And thank you very much for watching or listening. See you later. And subscribe to either the podcast and or YouTube channel. Thank you.